losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I want to be the greatest.
Welcome, everybody, to GOI's Season 29 Mid-Season Podcast. Joining me today, we have one of our longtime commissioners, Ray, currently running the Arizona Club. Of course, everybody knows Ray. Started with us many years ago, single guy, living the single life, all that stuff, and now married, 2 kids. Congratulations. Just recently had his second baby. So good job, Ray. You're living that 9 to 5 daddy life now. So good job. And then again this week, for the second week in a row, we have Jacob joining us. And Jacob, of course, coming from the other side of the border from Canada up in Toronto. And he will be joining us as well. But first, let's check out some GOI news. All right, so taking a look at some league news since the last time we met, we've had a couple of changes in GMs already about halfway through the season. First one was not a great story. As you know, we came into the season really trying to bring back that camaraderie and just good community for all of us to come and enjoy some Madden and enjoy just the family that we've built here. So unfortunately, the first casualty came in Cleveland. We had an incident. A lot of you know about that. We won't rehash that. The good news is that by making that change, that made one of our longtime GMs, it opened the door for Matt to come back. So Matt's come back. He's been with us for a very, very long time. He's taken over the Browns, and I'm sure he's going to do a good job with them. And we had quite a good reaction from the rest of the group about getting Matt back. So welcome back, Matt. In other news, in Carolina, we made a change with the Panthers. That was a new GM. He was with us just for this season. And we had some issues with scheduling and not sure exactly, what his intentions were with the team. So we made a decision for the health of the league to make a change there. So I'd like to introduce Julian. He's kind of new to us, just been with us for a short time. So we're all still getting to know each other. But definitely seems like he is a franchise-minded player, brings some great ideas, been quick to play his game. So welcome, Julian. He's out on the West Coast, Pacific time, and but he's been quick to get on his game. So I think he's going to be a great addition to the league. In some other news, just a reminder, we have the suggestion box. We introduced that last edition. That's in there. So as we're getting through the first season of this new edition, if there's some things that you think would benefit the league, make sure you drop them in there. And during the off season, we'll go through them. And if they're tenable, we'll put them to a vote and see what we can do to make the experience better for everybody. If for some reason you have an idea that you think maybe you'd rather do anonymously, you can always send it to one of the commissioners and we'll get it in the suggestion box for you as well. Lastly, speaking of our Discord server, you noticed over the last 48 hours or so, kind of revamped it a little bit, tried to clean it up, took some categories, shuffled them around a little bit, just trying to make it a cleaner experience for everybody. If you run into any issues, can't see a channel that you thought you should, or you're missing a channel that you used to enjoy, just let us know. Let one of the commissioners know. We'll definitely take a look at that. You'll also notice that during that whole Cleveland incident, we had toyed with the idea of making all the game channels private. So because of that, we had added the live game stream to the announcement of games going live. So you were getting double dinged. So since we've decided, it seems like the majority of the GMs prefer to be able to see each other's game channels. I know a lot of you guys interact in a good way. So we've decided to leave that open. So you'll notice that second live game stream is no longer notifying you. So be a little bit cleaner there. Also, bear in mind, if you don't like to get those, there's ways to set it in the Discord channel so you're only notified when you personally are being tagged. And we can also, if you just ask one of the commissioners, we can shut that feature off for you as well. That's what we've got in the news for this go around. Let's see what else is happening in GOI. All right, so now we have Ray and Jacob with us, and we are going to kick off a segment we like to call Pretenders or Contenders, or vice versa. So we have a few teams that we actually have. I think what is it? Looks like 5 teams that are 1 loss or less, including the Vikings, which have a perfect record. So I figured we could work our way up. We've got some new names in here too. So kick it off with the Chargers. So Jacob, I see you shaking your head. What's your take on the Chargers? You think they're for real?
I don't. Uh, I know TK is gonna hear this and hate me, but I don't think he's had that tough of a start to the season. Like, compared like the other records that he's beaten of the teams he's beaten, I don't think it's games he should be winning, considering his level of skill. So I think come the playoffs, it'll be a different story. But I know he's made, I think, a championship game before in his first season here. So I'm not writing him off. I just think compared to these other names, he's more of a pretender than contender.
I gotcha. Well, we start off with a hot take right off the bat. So Ray, what do you think about the Chargers?
I mean, he beat me, so if I say he's a pretender, what's that say about myself?
Woo!
I don't know. I think TK is he's hot and cold, so I'm gonna lean toward the side of contender, but I could be proven wrong. And I hope I'm proven right and the saying he is a contender, but I mean, we'll see. We're only gonna find out soon because we're getting mid-season now. It's starting to get real. Playoff races are heating up, so for now, we'll say contender.
So we got one contender, one pretender, and I will say, TK, that beating Ray is no small feat. We did notice Ray's not on this list this year, but he had some stuff going on at the beginning of the season, so I'm not going to count him out yet. So I still think that's a pretty strong performance to take out multi-time championship Ray. So good job, TK. All right, moving on to the next one on the list. Our next 6-1 team is Connor, who's kind of having a resurgence. It's kind of funny. I don't think he spends as much time practicing as he used to, but he is 6-1 with the Eagles. So we'll start with you this time, Ray. What do you think about our co-commissioner Connor?
As long as he runs the ball, that's going to be Connor's big thing. I mean, I know he does. I know he always wants to say he's a pass first guy or wants to be that guy, but that's not how he plays. That's not how he should play, especially with the Eagles. But if he's a run first guy, I got him as a contender. Connor, if you're going to try to pass ball all the time, I'm going to put you as a pretender.
So you have him as a pretender.
I'm going to say for now contender because he seems like he wants to run the ball, and as long as he uses Barkley in the right way, I think he's going to be just fine.
I got you. So
actually, he traded Barkley. Never mind.
Yeah, he has Will Shipley as his starting running back.
Of course, he does. But no, I'll stay contender. So just keep running the ball, Connor.
All right, Jake. What are you thinking about it?
So I think everyone on this list, or most of it's, going to hate me, but I'm going to go pretender because opposite to Ray, I don't think running is going to win a championship. I'm more of a pass first guy, so I mean, I guess that tells you enough because I have 0 trophies, so maybe I'm wrong. But no, he lost his only game to Ryan week 1, and I talked to him. He thought he was going to suck, but he's 6-1. He's won 6 straight. But I just think come playoffs, looking at this loaded NFC, it's a lot of pass-heavy guys, and with how defense is not existent this year, kind of, he used to be a really good defensive user, but when Madden toned it down, he kind of struggled. He's struggled since. So I think in the playoffs, he'll come to a shootout, and I just don't think he'll have like the ability to keep up with the other stronger offenses in the NFC.
And that kind of does match up with what Ray was saying. It sounds like if you're playing Connor, you want to try to get a lead and force him into passing. If you do that, you'll probably be in a little bit better shape. And you brought up a good point. I think 4 of the 5 teams on this list all come from the NFC. So the NFC definitely seems to be the harder way to go. And like I said, and we've got Ray sitting in the NFC, and he's not even on the list. So
he's not even in the playoff picture right now. I'm sure that'll change, but yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see. You never know.
All right, Jacob, what are you thinking about the Rams? They're up here at 6-1 as well.
This is gonna be my first contender. He just took his first loss to the Vikings last week, but his offense has been great. And he's one of those people who I'd like to compare myself to because all offense, no defense, which again, it's kind of matters in the playoffs. You gotta get a stop or two, unless if you want to win. But Dougie's been playing really good football, and he doesn't have the fastest team either. It's Cooper Kupp, Puka, who aren't the fastest players in this game. So I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he's kind of increased the turnovers the past few weeks from watching his games. But keep doing what you're doing. I think he'll make a run in the playoffs.
Nice. All right. So there's a contender from Jacob. Now, Ray, this is your division mate, isn't it?
Yeah, he beat me too, so he's definitely a contender. But no, he's definitely a contender. Dougie's a smart player. He knows what he's doing. He might not play the best defense, but he's going to score a lot of points. And if you can't put up 35, maybe 40 points, more times than not, he's going to get you. So definitely a
Yep.
contender on my end.
All right. So, and I was in the division with Dougie, and he definitely knows how to run an offense. I give him that much. He was hard to contend with. So I'm glad he's not in my world anymore. That's for sure. So, all right. So now we're moving to the other side of the country. So, Ray, we're looking at the Commanders. What do you think about the Commanders?
This is going to be my first pretender for now. I hope he proves me wrong, but I am his one loss. And I that game, I finally felt like everything clicked, and then I got beat the next week. So who knows what's going on. But no, I think Emmanuel, we've seen these hot starts before with him. He comes out of like a gate hot and then kind of settles off. He'll fall into I don't even know if he has anyone really close in his division. Oh wait, no, we got Lathan right there. So I'm still gonna take Lathan to win that, but Emmanuel, prove me wrong. You've beat me in the playoffs one time. I didn't want to talk about it, but just keep chugging away, man.
All right. So, and Jacob, what do you think about Emmanuel's chances?
Yeah, as someone who's been in his division twice in the past like 4 years, I'm gonna go with Pretender. Like Ray said, he's kind of like me who starts off hot a lot of the times, but fizzles off towards the later half of the season. And right now he's 7-1. He's the 2 seed in the NFC, but Connor's 1 game behind him, Lathan's 2 games behind him. It's all still early to pick and tell, but I just think his defense is good, but I think he won't be able to hang on offense when it comes to the playoffs.
And now, Ray, what was the score in your game against him when you beat him?
I maxed him out. I think it was 56-21.
Well, because the reason why I was asking, because I did notice out of all the people on this list, he has the lowest point differential, gap. He's only got 6 points between what he puts up and what he gives up compared to the rest of the guys. So that would probably lead into Emmanuel, they're coming for you. So better get ready. You're gonna have to get a little bit more distance. He needs a game or two against me. All right. So now moving on, our last contender, who's been really sharp, is the Vikings, and the Vikings have not lost a game yet. What do you think, Jacob, on the Vikings?
So this is my division mate, my buddy. We just played last week, I think, looking at it. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. I lost 42-36 because I can't protect the ball, but that's a story for another day. Dak's been playing really good offense. He traded for Chris Olave, so now you have Jay Jettas and Chris Olave. Thank you, Shane, for that. We appreciate it over here in the NFC North. But I gotta go with contender. He's made the conference championship game twice since getting in GOI, losing to Kobe, but once and then Ray the other time, I think. And he's always been a playoff contender, and it's just, can he take the next step? I think he can with his team, so I'll go with contender.
All right, Ray, what are you thinking?
I got him as a contender as well. I seen this coming with Dak. I think it was actually the last season of 24 that we played in the conference championship, and he gave me a good run. But I think that Vikings team that he has right now, especially since he obviously Jacob said picked up Olave, I think that fits him a lot more than previous teams he's had, like Dallas. He had no cap room, nothing. He's got a rookie quarterback now that wink wink hopefully will be mine. But no, he's definitely a contender. I don't see him slowing down at all. He might lose a game or two, maybe 3 in the season, but he's going to be a problem this whole well, not season. What do I call it? Edition. He's going to be the problem the whole edition.
Gotcha. So, well, there you go. So, Out of these five, I guess. So let me wrap this segment up by asking Ray, who is your top pick? Who do you think is going to come out of this five at the end of the day?
Well, we only had four NFC teams on that side I'm on. Honestly, I'm going to give my, I don't want to say prediction, but I think the one with the best chance to make it all the way is Dougie.
No, it's okay, Dougie. How about you, Jacob? Who you thinking about?
So it's going to be a little hot take. I know TK is the only one on the AFC. Out of the AFC teams, I don't think he makes it to the big game. And on the NFC, out of these four, I gotta go with Dak. He just beat Dougie. Someone's got to beat him for me to change my opinion right now.
All right. So who do you think is going to, since you eliminated the Chargers, who do you think is going to come out of the AFC? Who's your pick there?
Right now, I'm gonna go with Kobe.
Colby. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Didn't see that one coming. So good. All right, cool. So we went through these five. We get some hot takes from these guys. So we were about halfway through the season. So it's going to be interesting to see if the experts were right in about 9 GOI weeks, or that's probably like 3 weeks in our world. So, all right. Great job, guys. We appreciate your insight, and let's see how well maybe they'll take your advice, or maybe they'll prove you right. All right, so our next segment, we wanted to look again. We're halfway through the season, and we've got some really strong offenses out there. We have three teams in particular that have been putting up some big yards every game. It looks like both out of the three, two of them have played 8 games, the Jets and the Lions, and then the Cowboys have 7 games in so far. So looking at those, all these teams are what, 439, 400 to 451 yards per game. These are our top three offenses: Cowboys, Jets, Lions. Ray, anything you're seeing with these teams that you think is kind of putting them at the top of the league?
I'm noticing that there's a lot of deep throwing, I guess we'll call it that way. A lot of posts, a lot of flags. I mean, Jacob hinted to it earlier. Defense is just hard in this game. I found that some games, the stuff I'm used to doing works really well. Then other games, I look like my chicken with a head cut off. So I don't really have too much to say about it otherwise. And it's defense is hard.
Got it. So, Jacob, what's your take on these high flying offenses?
Yeah, so I'm one of these three. I'm the third team. I didn't even know that, but nice. But yeah, like Ray said, it's defense is hard. You can get the sack or the turnover, but like stopping the yardage, like the big gains or whatever, is like it feels impossible. Uh, it's just for me because I'm on this list. I'll just kind of cover myself. It's been a lot of, you know, I have the best O line in the game. Use it to my advantage. With the run game, I lead the league in rushing right now. Passing's been a little iffy the last few games, but like Ray said, overall, it's just I feel like it's not hard to make this list in a way because defense is just you can come out in every formation, you let up a 20-yard gain at some point.
Gotcha. So now you brought up a good point. Do you guys think that the offensive line, it seems to me, and of course I'm the Patriots and have one of the worst offensive lines, but it definitely seems like this edition more than previous editions, that seems to make a difference. Because I'm getting crushed. I'm running for my life every game, it seems like.
I'll agree there, and then Ray can go, but I've had the least amount of sacks allowed or given up, I guess, in the league because I was actually checking that yesterday out of curiosity. So I'm like, I feel like it does matter. I feel like run blocking, maybe it's my O-line. I have the best O-line in the game statistically. So, but yeah, I agree that I feel like you got to have a decent O-line to have some success going on offense.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing I have Kyler Murray because I am running for my life all day long.
Okay.
I mean, I've made a trade for a couple young guys to try to build an O-line. I have one decent one, but no, if you don't have a good O-line, you're running for your life, and then it's a good thing. I don't know what people about the past didn't like about Kyler, but he makes some pretty good throws for me. Much as I don't want to admit it for Kobe, but
nice.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I haven't quite figured out or conquered the whole half shift, full shift. Initially when the game came out, it seemed like people were saying don't use full shift, but now it seems like people are getting a little bit more success using the full shift. So I don't know. That's obviously I don't have the answer. So well, cool. Very interesting. We'll see how that goes. At least Jacob, you're making Ray happy. You're keeping his team in the hunt, his NFL team. You're keeping the
I
Lions
felt,
going.
yeah, yeah. I felt bad taking them, but someone had to do it. So
Yeah, they weren't
I'm
making
sure
it
he's
to
happy it
Ray.
was me. I'm sure he was happy it was me about people.
So, all right. Well, now, did I put up okay, there we go. We got the
Yeah.
defense up there now. So, we said that the teams, but there is a difference, right? We just talked about the offenses. The high flying ones are 450. We do have some teams that are keeping people down about 150 yards less than that. We have the top three teams, the Broncos holding people to 317 yards per game, the Bills at 309. And then Connor, who we just talked about, the Eagles is at 280, keeping them at under 300. So, guys, Ray, what's your feeling? I know you kind of just gave us a little bit, but what are these guys doing that's making it work a little bit better?
I mean, if you look, Denver has a pretty good secondary. They have a shutdown corner in Surtain. Bills, I might give him some credit because I mean they have a couple decent corners, but I know they're for the most part they're on the older end, especially at safety. I know they're gone now, but Connor, they have so many young DBs there. As he could, I mean, they're all from Georgia because that's how they pick. But no, I think they've probably put in a little bit more time than some others, figured out what works and doesn't work. I mean, Connor, he's covered 3 all day long, so you know what he's gonna run a little bit of cover 4. Sorry, Connor, if that blows someone uh past you, but it is what it is. I just probably do it myself, but yeah, I figure out what zone works and run that because I've tried man and I know man's supposed to be the top dog this year. It doesn't seem like it is to me, but I don't know.
No, no.
Right. Same thing. I heard cover 2 is great, and it seems like I get exposed every time I run cover 2 man. So,
Yeah.
all right, Jacob, how about you? What are you seeing
Yeah,
here?
so I do owe Connor a small apology. I did say I know he used to be a big defensive mastermind and now defense doesn't exist. But looking at his games on the screen here, after the first 3 weeks where he let up over 30 points each game, the highest he's let up since is 13, 8, 14, and 17. So 17 points is the most he's let up in the past 4 weeks, which to me is impressive because I don't remember the last time in like 3 Maddens I did something like that. But clearly as a formula, something's working for him. And I'll mention the Broncos are 1-7, but clearly the defense isn't the problem if they're getting all these stops and whatever. So, and like Ray said, Brandon, the Bills, I wouldn't expect that because those cornerbacks and secondary isn't as good as it used to be with all the trades they did in real life. So, whatever they're doing, I need one of them to tell me so I can figure that out as well, how to play defense.
Right.
There's a couple crazy stats here. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but so I'm looking at points per game here, and Connor is 13th in defensive points per game, which is a wild stat, seeing what his yards are.
Right.
And then if you go down farther, the Broncos, he is 27th in points given up. So I think they're both forgetting what team they're supposed to throw to, and a couple pick sixes on the board.
Right. But it's funny we talking about the Bills, and what was the guy that had the cardiac arrest in the field? That's what, Damar Hamlin, I think.
Yeah,
and I saw something. Forget who they were playing, but somebody threw a pick 6 to him, and somebody put up the stat that that's the first time a dead guy has caught a pick 6. So
wow.
so anyways, a little off color humor there. Now, one thing that brought up, somebody had made a mention about, possibly looking at the sliders, and we often look at the sliders after the first season, but we've also learned the lesson, which is Madden sliders are like super touchy. Like, I remember, I forget which edition it was, but we moved the slider like 5 points, and it made that, like, I think it was interceptions, and then like cornerbacks couldn't catch a ball if it was thrown directly at them. But
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, but I took a look at it, and interesting enough, even though it seems like we're scoring tons and tons of points, the average team is scoring so far through these many weeks is we're averaging 29.1 points per game. I actually ran the numbers this morning. When compared to the NFL in 2023 is averaged 21.3. So we're not even a touchdown over the NFL average. So it's not that unrealistic. It's just there's certain teams that are just juggernauts that are putting up 50, 60 points, but there is just as many that are doing 17 to 20. So,
Right.
or even less, right? I mean, you got me. So, heck, I've been shut out. So, not that I'm proud of that. So, well, so it definitely, obviously some of these guys are figuring it out. Some of the guys that are on this list are guys that we had on the previous contender pretender list. So, it's definitely interesting, and maybe this might point somebody in the right direction. If you're struggling a little bit, this might be a good place to go watch some game film and see what's going on, and maybe you can pick something up, just like they do in the NFL. All right, our next segment is actually a little bit more on the culture of the GOI family. And, we talked about it during the off season. We really tried to get back to our roots for probably the first 15 to 20, 15 plus seasons for sure. The league was really, we had a good brotherhood. We all enjoyed playing our games. We knew how to take a loss. And then over the last couple of seasons, we seem to kind of get away from that a little bit. Got a little bit more like was Reddit or Mutt. And just a lot of negativity towards the game, towards EA, which look, we all understand that we all play it, but one of the things we've tried to bring back that more sportsman-like attitude and mentality across the league. And I think for the most part we have. We had a suggestion. If you check out our suggestion box, a suggestion from another league where they kind of take it to the next level. And I just wanted to kind of talk with you guys a little bit as representatives of the league. Ray, how do you feel? I mean, what's your take on when people start kind of going bonkers in their game channel because they had a rough game?
It's just a game. Don't get bad. I don't want to copy that meme, but no, I know no one's getting paid to be here. I don't think it's that deep where you got to go in the chat mid game, and that's my biggest pet peeve is instead of trying to fix things in the game, you decide to go on your phone and start whining in the game chat. Now, the only thing I will say is when I miss kicks. I hate when I miss kicks. I'll just put in some funny meme or just some one word because I haven't figured the kicking out. And even last year when I did know the kicking, I couldn't make field goals. But I'm not going to sit there and complain, oh, I can't believe you picked it off. That's BS, stuff like that. Just play your games. It's not the end of the world. I mean, obviously, me having the championships I have won is people think, oh, it's easy for you. But, I mean, look at me this year. I'm not even in the playoff picture probably by 2 or 3 games right now. So it's not the end of the world. I've had my time, and if it's not my time anymore, then it's not the end of the world. I have 2 kids. Madden is my scapegoat, and that's what it should be for everyone else, especially that has kids or wives or girlfriends or fiancés. Treat Madden as that. Don't treat it as a second job that you have to be the GOAT at. Just have fun with it. It's not the end of the world.
There you go. I agree with that 100% for sure. Jacob, how about you?
Yeah, so like Ray said, nothing, it's not a bad feeling, it's just annoying when either you're winning or losing a game. I'll do both perspectives. Like, let's say I lose a game and I open my phone and I was winning at some point. I see someone they're saying, "Oh, Madden bailed you out. Oh, LOL. Oh, this, that." But you won the game, man. Like, what do you like? What was the point of all that? Or even when I win, they're like, "Oh, Madden bailed you out on that pick six." Yeah, maybe they did, but like, what do you get from like? It's just stupid to me. And like you said, it got kind of worse compared to how it's ever been since like I joined at least in Madden 20. But there were some people removed, and I think it'll get better, but we'll see. But yeah, it's an interesting suggestion and rule because it just basically your game threads are schedule the game, good luck, GG. No, oh, great. I mean, people praise our opponents sometimes in their threads, like great throw, but still, more times than not, it's oh, Madden saved you. Oh, how do you catch that? It's just, and stuff like that will lead to an argument. Like when your opponent says, "Oh, Madden bailed you out," someone will take that to heart and they'll start an argument, and that's how these things can be avoided. And yeah, like Ray said, it's a game. You know,
Sure.
you're gonna close it after this, come back in 2 days and play again. It is what it is.
And it makes me think like, in the NFL where people are getting paid and it is their job, they can't get up at if they get up at the podium and talk like the way some folks sometimes talk in our game channels, they're getting fined. I think, trying to remember who it was, but one of the coaches last week, when he got up to the podium, he said, I don't want to get fined. I like my money. I forget who it was, but it was one of the coaches last week, So
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. And look, at the end of the day, we're all adults, and we want everybody to be here. We do. We enjoy our current lineup. But it's like me, a few years ago, everybody kind of got into MLB The Show during the off season, and I got it. I joined the league. I didn't like it. It wasn't that fun. You couldn't develop your players. It just wasn't for me. I didn't flame the game throughout the when I was in that league. I played it, and I was frustrated the other day in our college football league. So I'm handicapped enough. I don't need the home field advantage thing working against me. Then I'm like completely frustrated. So, but at the end of the day, you got to make a decision and go on. But let's try not to ruin it for the other people. And let's take a look at Ray. He's not having his normal season. He's been gracious in his losses. I haven't one time seen him blame his playbook, the game, his controller, whatever. He's trying to figure it out, and he probably will. So
I was just gonna say real quick, John. I don't know how the time is, but I was just gonna add something real quick. Ray has 12 Super Bowls, 10, whatever it is, and he doesn't really bitch or complain unless it's about kicking, which Ray just hit the practice arena. But for me, I have 0 Super Bowls, few playoff wins. I blew a 27-0 lead to Peter in the playoffs last year. And if that game threat still exists, I didn't say anything. I just said GG and moved on. I was a little frustrated, but as someone who has 0 Super Bowls, like most of the league, it's you can't get upset over end of the stuff. More stuff is user error than Madden error. I like to think that way, and you don't want to accept that or take accountability. I feel I was really bad at Madden 20, Madden 21 with my Madden bailed you out. Oh, that's bullshit. But I feel like the past 2 Maddens, 3 Maddens, I've gotten better at it every year, and it's just like, I'm not saying take notes from me, from you, from Ray, but I'm just saying it's a game. That's all. That was the point of that little speech.
Well said. And as a person who has 0 playoff appearances, right, for me, I'm just going to insert that Jim Mora thing where he's going playoffs because I've never even seen the playoffs. So, all right, guys, great show. I think we covered some good topics here. Again, we're about 30 minutes into it, so I appreciate you guys taking time out of your Sunday morning to jump on here and share your hot takes on how the league is. So remember, guys, let's have an awesome second half of the season. Stay positive, continue the good sportsmanship. And remember, if you'd like to be a guest in the show, just reach out to one of us and we'd be more than happy to get some new faces out here and some different perspectives. So if you didn't like Jacob's take or you didn't like Ray's take, come on down and give us your next take and you can let us know what you're thinking. Until then, good luck, and we'll see you bunchies in the playoffs. Thanks, everybody.